guys, welcome back to my channel. So today I'm going to be playing with Dirty Diana, my mannequin again. I'm actually in the environment that I'm usually in when I'm doing hair, and that's the salon. I decided that today I'm going to color correct this mannequin. The other night I only highlighted the back of it to show you guys the other video of the in-depth foiling. I didn't touch the sides, so I'm going to show you how to even things out. Really simple without overthinking it. Anybody can do this, and if you want to learn how to do it, keep watching. Alright guys, so the other night on my mannequin you seen me do the back. I never did the front. So in the back you can see from a tight baby light exactly how beautiful it comes out. But not too shabby, right? Of course I didn't go all the way up to the root. So when I go to smudge this, if it was a real client, that would help make my rooted area look better. And you can see as it gets towards the top and the sides that it's dark. So we're gonna take this as it's a real color correction. We're gonna mix up, I'm gonna mix up with you. For the back, I'm going to do 2 highlights to 1 low light. And then the sides, I'm just gonna do back to back to back baby lights so that it can even everything out. And we'll have that dimension that's left in the front sides that have not been lightened yet put back in here so that it looks like everything is even. Okay, does that make sense? So let's get started. If you wanted to watch this video, don't forget to subscribe, hit the like button if you want to keep having me put out content if you enjoy it, and stay tuned. Let's get going. Okay, so I started measuring my bleach again because I charge for product and I want to make sure it's always accurate, always the same. If you guys notice, I got a smaller cup. Down in my drawer, I keep all of my extra brushes. There was too many up here, not enough room. So I took the brushes I use the most and put them in this cup. So I can just grab them and they're smaller. It doesn't take up too much space. Today we're going to be using another Fanola lightener, and it's the cream lightener, the no yellow cream. This came out before the ultra lightener powder that was violet that I love, 9 levels of lift. This is still really good. And I want to show you guys how it works. So we're going to use it today on the mannequin. I'm going to measure out my product. Oh, and this is a cream lightener, guys. You know, I didn't have a good experience with them in school, so I never liked them. But this isn't like your typical cream lightener where you get 1 or 2 levels of lift. This is really good. It gets up there. So roughly 40 grams, let's say. I'll do 1 to 1 first. And see how I like this consistency. It smells like bazooka bubblegum, just like the other powder purple lightener, the violet lightener by Fanola, the newer one. And I found out that the smell is coming from the developer, the dedicated developer. I'm using 20 volume today. I won't be using a bond enhancement. I won't be using Olaplex or Fiber Fix because this is a mannequin. I'm not gonna waste product on that. I think I'm going to go 1 to 1.5, so I'm going to add in 21 more grams. It's really good to measure. I stopped doing it recently, but it's fair to the clients, and I like having a consistent consistency for every lightener and knowing my measurement. Okay, that's really good. I like that consistency. So that's done. Now I'm going to move on, and we're going to do a low light, and I'm going to use a little bit of Joico Lumishine, my favorite for rooting and stuff and low lighting. We need to add warmth back into that mannequin, so I'm going to do 10 grams of 4N because that's what I really want to be my formula, and then we'll do 10 grams 5NG. I'm telling you, Lumishine's really good for toning as well. I love shades for toning on the ends. But I've been toning with this lately too, and it is amazing. They have their dedicated developer that goes with it, and you guys probably seen it a million times in my videos. That's the Lumishine 5 volume. No lift. Bring it up 1 to 1. Grab one of my small gold ball brushes that I like to use for low lighting and root tapping. Ooh, look at that. Beautiful. And the thing I also like about Joico, especially for the root, is it has better coverage than Shades EQ. Shades EQ is very translucent. But I like it for the toning with a glossy shine. But I do like my Lumishine for root shadowing, tapping and smudging, and sometimes low lighting. Alright guys, let's go get started. See how big of the spaces there are between each piece of hair? Normal heads are not like that. They're usually packed. So that's why I'm taking smaller sections than I normally would. Because they would usually be a little bit bigger, but they're still the same amount like from the head that I would take. but they look a little bit smaller with the mannequin. Does that make sense? Hey guys, welcome back to my channel. So today I'm bringing you guys a full baby light low light session with my girl Dirty Diana. This video is going to be a lot longer than my usual since you guys do love foiling just as much as I do. So I decided to leave a lot more into today's tutorial than normal. If you haven't already, please feel free to subscribe, like this video, and hit the bell so you're notified every time a video is posted. This will let me know you guys want me to keep putting out content. So without further ado, let's get started, shall we? I'm also using the frame art foils that I was telling you guys in my last video for beginners to help with slippage and to keep the hair in place. These are the best for beginners who are learning to foil and need that tightness. These are heavier, but they hold in place. I'm not really paying attention on getting it up to the root because we will be rooting this and toning this just like a regular human. So this is a full tutorial today. And you see how the other night on my last video, if you watched it, how the foils that were a little bit more flimsy were running around, moving around. You notice these are staying right in place. So as I mentioned in my last video, one of my biggest tips for new colorists getting into foiling or blonde specialist is Framar's embossed foils. All of the pop-up foils they have are light embossed and they are average size, which is amazing. The ones I'm using today, I have black and silver. If you like foils a little longer or thicker, you can get their pre-cut embossed foils. They are silver, longer, and they have 3 different kinds of embossed. They have light, medium, and heavy. I love the light embossed, which is what the pop-ups come in. Framar is amazing all around. They are great people, and they also put out amazing products. They have a bunch of different tools for stylists. So many different foils. They have pop-ups, pre-cut, embossed, soft, multiple colors and designs, foils on a roll, and my new favorite are the pop-up traditional foil where you rip them in half yourself. I love these ones and the ones on Amazon, as I mentioned in my past video. The flimsy foils I've been loving lately because I can pack a lot in more easier than the embossed foils. But if you're new into foiling, I would stick to the embossed for now. You see as I'm foiling on my mannequin today how easy the Framar foils are just staying in place and not moving or slipping, which keeps down your chances of a bleeder. So I'm continuing up the head after the first 5 or 6 foils. I have a sturdy enough base to not have to use my board. If you're in school or just beginning to get into foiling, I suggest using a board. I specialize in blondes, baby lights, and highlights, and I still love using a board. I love using it especially above the neck until about 1/4 of the way up the head, and I love using it above the ear for the first few foils as well for a great base. Another thing the board comes in handy for is when I do teasy lights or tease out the dropouts. As I continue moving up the head, my Fanola No Yellow Lightening Cream with 20 volume is in my silver Framar foil, and my low light, which is Joico Lumishine Demi liquids 4N, 5NG, and 5 volume, are in the black ones.
You and me are bored of regularities, living all the dreams, playing all the games, and getting high on love. They can chase us down, but we will always win. Leading every dance, feeling every touch, and getting high on love. We're invincible. Trust in me, we're invincible. Don't you see, we're invincible. We're invincible. Let's escape the gray and let the colors rain. Turn the shit we do and our words into pure reality. 'Cause you and me are meant to be what they don't see. Never feeling wrong 'cause we don't belong. And getting high in love, we're invincible. Trust in me, we're invincible. Don't you see, we're invincible.
I used to love doing my baby lights so small in such a small stitch they were almost non-existent. As my craft starts evolving over time, I get better and better in my opinion, like we all do. I still do my baby lights small, but find when they are a little bit bigger than they used to be, they give me a better result. It also helps speed me up in the salon, so I'm very excited to get back into the salon, get my hands into some hair. Not only have I switched up my baby lights a little bit, I've also been working on a few new foil placements, so I'm so excited to shoot new technique videos for you guys, and I just can't wait till we get back to normalcy. So I'm now up to the back of the crown at the top of the head, and as you guys have seen probably many times in my videos before, I love doing an upside down triangle in this area. Sometimes on a diagonal, sometimes on a horizontal, depending on the client, but I do focus on this area because a lot of clients have cowlicks and twirls, and I don't want them to end up having a dark hole. I'm going like this because I don't want to push against the head. I usually don't do that, but I don't want the mannequin to fall over, but I want to make sure the foil is not closed. Does that make sense? I'll show you guys what I mean. I go in, I do my stitch. I grab my foil. I put underneath. I grab my product, work my way up. And now when I foil, I go like this, foil down across, go like this, tuck it in to retighten, and usually I push against the head, but because I can't do that because this will move, I go like this now. Makes it a little easier on a mannequin. So if you guys are trying to get comfortable on a mannequin, there's some tips right there for you. We're almost done with the back, and I'm gonna drop the low light after that.
You and me are born of regularities, living all the dreams, playing all the games, and getting high in love. They can chase us down, but we will always win. Leading every dance, feeling every touch, and getting high in love. We're invincible. Trust in me, we're invincible. Don't you see, we're invincible. Let's escape the gray and let the colors rain. Turn the shit we do and our words into pure reality. Cause you and me are meant to be what they don't see. Never feeling wrong, cause we don't belong in getting high in love. We're invincible. Trust in me. We're invincible. Don't you see? We're invincible.
One tip of advice I always give, but it's so important, is saturation. This is one of the hardest things to get correct, but it is very important. You do not want to take a brush full of product and just slap it all over. Most lightener does swell, and even if it's a good lightener and don't, it still will expand in the foil. So if you oversaturate, you will have product coming out all over the place and seeping out, and that will cause bleeders, tiger stripes, and just be a big old mess. If you notice, I start with a little product, apply, grab a little more if needed, and apply again. You can always add more, but it's hard to take it off. You don't want to undersaturate, then the hair will look barely covered because you won't have a good lift and you will have a ton of splotchiness. You want it to be perfectly in the middle, and most of the time it comes with time and practice, and we all have our own ways we become comfortable with. I hope this all makes sense to you guys. Another thing I like to do is start about a quarter down and work my way up. You never want to slap a whole bunch of product right at the top of the foil because that will carry over and cause bleeders. Remember, when foiling, every single second does add up. I do have a few tricks and tips on how to do certain things to speed me up. If you guys want to see a video on that, let me know in the comments down below. Also, let me know what videos you guys want to see, especially since this whole thing with quarantine's going on and we're all home with a lot of extra time. I want some video ideas. Let me know if you want color theory, favorite toners, favorite color lines, anything like that. One tip I do like when foiling that helps me speed up is to make sure everything is saturated in as little time and as little strokes as possible. But at the same time, make sure it's extremely completely saturated. Also, clip the hair up and leave the clip in the one spot and just put the hair back in instead of twisting the hair up every single time for every single foil. I hope all that makes sense. Alright guys, it's all foiled up. Most importantly, you guys, stop comparing your speed to me and anyone else. Clients don't care if it takes 8 hours or the whole entire day. As long as your work's good, quickness will come with time. So now, as Dirty Diana processes for about roughly 40 minutes, I took the leftover low light Lumishine 4N5NG and painted every single drop out. This will help even everything out as well. Alright, so once I finished, like I said, Dirty Diana processed for a total of 40 minutes. I then brought her over to the sink and I washed her out with freezing cold water and a dash of Olaplex shampoo number 4. I then brought her back to the stand and applied my favorite deep conditioning mask ever, which is Fanola's NutriCare Restructuring Mask. If you guys haven't tried it, you must. I applied it all over the mids and ends, just as I would Olaplex number 2 or Fiber Fix Part 2 on a real client. Then I detangled her with my Olivia Garden eye blend brush. Then I mixed up my Root Smudge formula. I'm using Joico Lumishine 5N3NA with 5 volume, the dedicated 5 high volume, and I've split her into 3 sections, one big one in the back and one on each side. I am bringing the root smudge down about 3 to 4 inches in the back. Just like a real client, I'll keep it higher up on the sides or on the face. Once done applying this root smudge, I let Dirty Diana process for about approximately 15 minutes.
You and me are bored of regularities, living all the dreams, playing all the games, and getting high in love. They can chase us down, but we will always win. Leading every dance, feeling every touch, and getting high in love. We're invincible. Trust in me. We're invincible. Don't you see? We're invincible.
Alright guys, I'm going to do 7P and 7NB, which is usually my caramel formula. And every now and then for certain clients, if they pull brassy, I'll throw in 6T. So 6T, 7P, 7NB is my favorite caramel formula. But of course the mattes they came out with, a lot of people think M means mocha and warm. It does not. Most lines it does, but with Shades EQ, it's matte and it's ashy and cool. Has green and blue base, so be careful with it.
I'm meant to be what they don't see. Never feeling wrong, cause we don't belong. And getting high enough.
Now you guys usually see me tone. I do it at the bowl, but I'm gonna do it on this mannequin while it's here and let the toners process together. Same thing as the bowl. It's a lot easier. I do prefer doing it at the bowl with clients, but this is the mannequin. How am I gonna do it at the bowl? Put it in there and show you guys how I mush it around. It's gonna be hard to hold the head down. I had a hard enough time trying to maneuver the head when I was doing the shampooing or the washing out of the color in the foils. This thing is so annoying. After this quarantine, I'm never touching a mannequin again. I used to hate it in school and I hate it now. For smudges, I love leaving the root on so it has longer time to process. Shadows, I only do it about 50%. It's 50-50. Sometimes I will rinse it out before I tone the ends, and sometimes I will leave it on longer. You know, it's a mannequin. I don't really like using a lot of real product on it, but I wanted this video to be very educational. I wanted you guys to really learn and be serious as if it was a client. So I usually with Shades EQ, I'll watch it. As you can see, it's toning beautifully. And this was the color correction. Remember, the back was only done. I mean, it might seem like very far off, like a client will never come in with just the back foil, but trust me, I've had clients, they come in for corrections and it looks like people literally foiled like one side or the back of the head and not the front. I don't understand how people can leave a salon like that, but people do. I've seen it, so can't say it's not a realistic thing. It has happened to me before. If you use Shades EQ, you have to try out the mattes. I really like them. They're green and blue base. They have a 2, a 4, 7 that we just used, and I think they have a 9 level as well. And I will blow dry it and show you after I curl it the final result. This toner's looking really good, you guys. It makes me miss doing real client hair. Alright, I'm gonna let this process for a few minutes. I'm gonna clean up this mess. I'll be back to show you the blow dry and curl. Oh my god, you guys, look how beautiful this came out. It took a total of almost 3 hours and it's so even. I hope you guys learned something today, at least one thing. I'm showing it here first straight because I want you guys to see what every result looks like straight. I do believe beach waves can enhance the look on any client. Look how shiny this mannequin hair is from Shades EQ. And we all know how mannequin hair has like 50% real hair and a mix of other things like tinsel and plastic and string. Oh my god, you guys, look at it with beach waves. It is beautiful. I open it up and you can see how beautiful that root shadow is. That's why I love Joico Lumishine for root toning. It actually has really good coverage.
And let the colors rain. Turn the shit we do and our words into pure reality.
Alright guys, that's gonna do it for today's tutorial. Please like, share, and subscribe, and let me know what you think down below yonder in the comment section, as well as future video ideas. I hope you're all staying safe and healthy, and hopefully we'll be back to normalcy real soon. I love you guys so much, each and every single one of you. Thank you for all of the support, and until the next time, so long for now.
Don't you see?